Good morning, Roundtablers. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the Roundtable. I'm Chelan, and my co-host today, Kirk. How you doing?
Hey.
And joining us this morning is guest, joining us as our guest is co-founder and director of education at Bright Start Group International, Shantay Foster. How are you this morning?
I'm great this morning. Thank you, Chelan.
Welcome, 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 welcome.
So,
Bright Start Group International.
And where's that base?
So we're an entirely online company. So we do college prep, SAT, PEP tutoring. We have a wide range of tutoring with English, math, obviously, and we also do Spanish, and we've even had coding programs that we've done in the past as well.
Oh, wow. Maybe I need to get into the math. The other day, no, I really have a problem with math, you know. I was saying that, you know, how some people are like dyslexic, like they can't
Yes, there's
read.
also dyscalculia.
That's what I have. I promise you that's what I have. I was baking mac and cheese the other day, you know, so I see somebody laughing, but I was baking mac and cheese the other day, and it said, I was trying to scale it up because I was making such a large batch. Yeah. And so normally I'd have 5.5 cups of cheese, but this time I needed 18. And then when I go into the store, right, the little package, usually it's a 2 cups or 1 cup of cheese. It's in 1.3 quarters.
Maths.
Throw me off.
The fractions were getting to you.
Yeah, like I just stand up there, so I end up by 18 bag, which was way too much.
Well, now you have cheese for days.
My friends just pass him. I'm like a cheese dealer. Them just pass him, and I'm just giving them like bags and bags of cheese. In there. It's like, here, you can have it.
Cheese for you.
Yeah, right.
Cheese for you.
Enough of that. Let's get right into the social buzz of this morning. Let's see what's buzzing.
Where's his finger?
Where's my? Give me my finger back.
I didn't have it.
Where'd it go? You was doing a pain.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you were.
No, I don't have it.
Where's my finger?
Let me see. I didn't have it.
I don't know why they're traumatizing the poor child. I was like, I don't have it. We have my finger.
I swear I didn't take it.
But you know, he's been waiting for that moment.
Yeah.
He's been practicing the lines.
Yes, definitely.
Where's my finger?
And what's up in Bag of Things? I think that's Kirk.
Oh, yeah.
What are you going to talk about?
Well, we'll just... So this is my living room, and what happened was, in preparation of Hurricane Beryl, I had to move all my plants from my backyard inside, or else, you know, the wind and the rain and all of that will get to them and not so happy afterwards. So I turned my living room essentially into a little rainforest. I was like, I didn't realize until this point in time that I was a plant dad. Like, I got a lot of plants right here.
But you're a way better plant dad than I, because I left my plants out there to the elements.
Oh, wow.
No, because listen, all right, they need it. They need the shock.
Oh, no.
Yeah, man.
Maybe that's too much shock.
They need a little shake up and a little shimmy. They need to, you know, because normally they would be out there in the open, right?
So well, I hope they all made it through.
They look great. They look extra green. I threatened the ones inside. I said, if you keep misbehaving, I'm going to put you out there with the rest of them, since you don't like indoor settings. Let me put you out there.
You can see the type of parent that you are.
They've been behaving as well. You like plants?
I am a terrible plant mom. I have no green thumb whatsoever.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy. But that's not crazy, you know. Not everybody. And I've killed quite a few plants before I found the ones that work for me. So it might just be that you don't know
Haven't found the one.
Yeah, exactly. But, oh, I see something hot. Hello. Hi. What's it? Ow, ow, burning. So,
One day we're going to have food.
so this is saying, my brother's keeper, the true meaning. Okay, we're getting a little deep, hot and deep. All right. So this is based off the fact that you do a lot of volunteering, right?
Yes, that's right.
And you're volunteering for Hurricane Beryl right now?
Right. So what happened was I was seeing a lot of images on social media, like everyone else, about the devastation that was happening,
Right.
especially in the western end of Jamaica. And as someone who has family in South St. Elizabeth, I was very concerned. I hadn't heard from my family in days, and the worry was getting to me. So I started going on social media and collecting a thread on Twitter of just all the different people who are going down to St. Elizabeth and bringing supplies.
Oh, nice.
So I started to create this list.
Curated it.
Curating a list. And over time, people started reaching out to me and trying to connect with all these people. And so I went to True Self and we started a donation site. And we started collecting things and people started coming together and it sort of just snowballed, it exploded. Everything started to happen so quickly.
That's
Within
amazing.
24 hours, I had so many donations. People were reaching out for my banking information. I had no plans of doing that. I was just gonna put a little few items in my car and drive down and have a little trip.
Right.
But it exploded. And so I ended up having to enlist a few friends to help me package items, to bring an extra car, because at one point we had so much stuff that I could no longer fit it in my car.
Oh, that's
so we kept going, and then on Sunday we drove down, and with the help of my family, we were able to just drive home to home in St. Elizabeth, and we, specifically Flagaman.
Flagaman's right, which is
a farming community.
Exactly right.
And it is one of the largest farming communities in Jamaica. And it was devastated. Every other home I looked at had pieces of their roof missing, massive water damage, crops blown away. And the thing is, the people were all so helpful. Everywhere I went, it was people trying to share their stories, trying to share food with me even. I went to a house and I had a slice of honeydew. It was just such a great experience for me as well, because I got to see the community truly coming together to help each other.
That's lovely. That's, it's definitely about the topic, my brother's keeper. And the care packages, what did you include in that?
So the care packages were a mix of canned food items like sardines and mackerel, the usual things we prep for a hurricane with, along with toiletries, tissue, toothpaste, toothbrushes, things that when your roof goes, you don't have anything. So we're just trying to make sure they have soap and things, basic things to take care of themselves.
Yeah.
Okay. To just maintain some semblance of normalcy.
Some semblance of normality during these times, because when everything is gone, you need something to hold on to.
Yep.
And that is really
Last bit of hope.
yeah.
So what is very interesting that I'm seeing here is that a lot of times people disregard social media and say that, it's filled with people who are selfish and there's no use to it. And what I'm hearing is that you went in, just like a small thing and it exploded. So is it that people are selfish or they might not have the outlet or know where to help?
Yeah, I think a lot of times we see people who feel very helpless. And when you feel helpless, there are two paths you can take. And one is to just complain about things and to sit there and feel quite miserable and isolated.
Despair.
And sit in your despair. But the other way is to come together as community, and whether that is online community or on the ground physical community. And I think I was able to help bridge the gap between that virtual community and being on the ground in person, because not everyone is capable of just taking their car and driving down. But I knew that because of my connection to the physical community, I was able to bridge that gap for a lot of people.
Okay, awesome. So we're going to take a quick break and be right back with more Roundtable. Welcome back to the Roundtable. This morning's topic is My Brother's Keeper, the true meaning. And we were just having this lovely conversation where you spoke about how you really weren't looking for it to explode, right? And it did. And now you're carrying down care packages, having to carry your friends to help you, and just the community. Within the community, even though they're suffering, once you're there, they're looking to help as well. So there's really, to me, I think that epitomizes, you know, the whole semblance of what a Brother's Keeper is. And Kirk, you were sharing during the break that when you did a Christmas treat.
Yeah, I think it was last year actually, when I was doing a Christmas treat. I did a little post on social media that I was donating to a children's home, you know, for them to experience Christmas like how normal kids would experience, with gifts and whatever, right? And people found out about it and be like, okay, how can I help with this? I was like, oh, I've never been in this position before, you know? So I embraced it. I was like, okay, they need this. How can we, you know, get this to them? Then people say, okay, I can donate money. Oh, I can send in those items. I was like, so much people chipping in just to help. That put me in a position where I'm like, oh my gosh, there is so much good in this world.
It's just for us to tap into it, right?
Right. Yes.
And so the whole My Brother's Keeper is about Cain and Abel from the Bible, but its more modern application is that we are all responsible for each other. We need to ensure that the next person is good. And I heard a lot of that during the, you know, the public addresses before the hurricane came. They were like, make sure your neighbor is okay. If somebody is elderly, you know, please to take care of them. And so this is the personal application of My Brother's Keeper. Do you think that it's harder to do, or that, you know, like I was saying, sometimes people can't do it individually. They want someone to do the heavy lifting?
Yeah, a lot of times people are unsure where to put their energy. They might not be able to physically visit a community, but people have a willingness to help. And so when a person is able to facilitate that, and that's truly what I see what I'm doing as, just facilitating the good that other people want to do.
Okay. And do you think that, like, having this sense of community kind of helps to combat loneliness? Because they're saying, you know, there's kind of like a correlation between selfishness and loneliness. So if we were to reach out more to each other, it would help. What do you think about that?
It gives people a sense of purpose, because doing something like this, there's a lot of roles involved. When there's so many roles, you're like, okay, if you can't do this, then I can do this instead. If you have that mentality going into it, then certainly you'll find a sense of purpose. And because you have that sense of purpose and you're serving your community, you become a part of that community even more so. Right? You feel more engaged in that community, and you feel so rewarded for all their good work afterwards.
I agree. And would you say the same thing?
I would, and I also noticed that I saw other people volunteering as well, and people who weren't even from the community that I was visiting in Flagaman, who had come to visit with a chainsaw just to help people remove the trees from their property, and have been completely adopted by the community. Because once you are helping a community, you become part of that community for life.
Okay. And it's so funny that you would bring up that you actually feel a sense of reward, because scientists have said that volunteering and, you know, doing the altruistic things kind of triggers that reward part of your brain, where you're just like, oh yes, you know, this is really good. And so you might end up reaching out beyond your community. Who knows?
Yeah, people have evolved to live in communities. We've always lived in communities. We take on different roles to make sure that as a whole, we can all survive.
Okay.
And that is the only way we can get through this.
Okay, awesome. And let's go for another quick break, and when we return, it's time for our final thoughts. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us, and it's time for final thoughts. And I'm going to switch it up a little bit, and I'm going to do my final thoughts first, right? So I think a lot of times, even with the Brother's Keeper, it's how you're socialized from the home. And I can say that because in my house, we've always thought about charity. Like my mom and my father, they've always prioritized that. Like during Christmas, we would put together little packages and send it to the boys and girls home. And I even remember my little sister, hi Kasanya, for her Sweet 16, she didn't want gifts, it was donations. So you'd have to bring like tin goods and stuff like that. And so we've always grown up with that sense of charity and, you know, giving back. And I think you should socialize. If you're socialized that way from the beginning, then you kind of become part of that community and it becomes kind of second nature to you.
That's very
And it's
interesting.
kind of easy to be your brother's keeper that way.
Oh, yeah. In my household, it was a bit of a journey to get to that point.
Okay.
Because we started out as a low-income family.
Right.
And then we built ourselves up until we got to the point where we were able to give away stuff. And,
Right.
you know. So I think, yes, you're right about being conditioned in the home. And I guess the lesson I would take from my personal home is you have to put yourself in a position where you're able to help others, right?
Right.
If you're not there now, work to getting there. Or work to always better yourself so that you are not only good for yourself and your close ones, but for the whole community.
Agreed. And you, Sasha?
Well, I've always tried to stay away from charity. I know it's a term we use a lot, but I see what I do as mutual aid. It's moving resources from one part of the community to another. I think no matter what you always have something to give. And if you don't have material things, you can give your time. People are always looking for help just to clear their yard before a hurricane, to just check if you need someone to bring your groceries in. It's not about needing a lot of money to do anything impactful. It's about being willing to give of yourself and to your community and allow your community to care for you as well.
I couldn't have said it better myself, and I'm glad you touched on the point that it can be something simple as just cleaning up a yard before a storm, or just checking in on your neighbors and ensuring that they have everything they want, especially the elderly
Especially.
and those who are not, well. You know, it's coming, they can't go shopping on their own or something like that. So that's definitely a very good point. Thank you so much. And that's it for the Roundtable Sunrisers. A special thanks to you for being, special thanks to you for being our guest this morning. Shantay Foster, co-founder and director of education at Bright Star Group International. Please remember to watch tonight's match. It's Argentina versus Canada at 7 p.m. And so news will be at 6 p.m. and the lead story at 9:30. Have a blessed day, everyone, and remember to be good and be on purpose.